Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare. Adapted for the Shakespeare Project 2018 by Carrie, Colton. The scene and lighting suggest a dark and bloody post-apocalyptic future. As each of the characters fight and kill their enemies, they each introduce themselves.
Brutus.
Cassius.
Conspirators against Caesar.
Casca.
Cinna.
Ligarius.
Friends to Brutus and Cassius.
Portia, husband to Brutus.
Lucius, servant to Brutus.
Antony, loyal friend to Caesar.
Octavius, daughter to Caesar.
Cinna, a poet and soothsayer to Caesar.
Calpurnia, wife to Caesar.
Lepidus, supporter and friend to Caesar.
Julius Caesar, ruler of Rome.
Caesar and his entourage exit, chanting and celebrating their victory. Act 1, Scene 1, Rome, a street. Enter Cinna the poet and certain commoners through rallying commotion.
Hence, home, you idle creatures, get you home. Is this a holiday? What? Know you not, being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a laboring day without the sign of your profession. Speak, what trade art thou?
Why? A carpenter.
Where is thy leather apron and thy rule? You, sir, what trade are you?
A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience, which is indeed, sir, a mender to bad souls.
What trade, thou knave?
Nay, be not out with me. I can mend you.
What mean'st thou by that? Mend me.
Why, cobble you.
Thou art a cobbler, art thou?
I am indeed a surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them.
But wherefore art not in thy shop today?
But indeed, we make holiday to see Caesar and to rejoice in his triumph. Hail, Caesar!
Exit commoners.
These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly an ordinary pitch. This keeps me in all severe fearfulness. Beware the Ides of March.
Act 1, Scene 2, a public place. Enter Caesar, Antony, Brutus, Cassius, Ligarius, Cinna, and Casca. Later, Cinna the poet.
Antony!
Caesar.
Caesar!
Huh? Who calls? Bid every noise be still, peace yet again. Who is it in the press that calls on me?
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
A poet bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set her before me. Let me see her face.
Woman, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
She is a dreamer. Let us leave her.
Exit all except Brutus and Cassius.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you, do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was once wont to have.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome have wished that noble Brutus had her eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Oh, stay, good Brutus. Be prepared to hear.
Applause and shouting for Caesar.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye. Do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me?
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. And yet this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly but nod on him. Ye gods, it doth amaze me. A man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
More applause and shouting for Caesar.
Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why now he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Sound them. It doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them, it is as heavy. Conjure with them. Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar.
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of this and of these times I shall recount hereafter. What you have said, I will consider. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
More applause and shouting for Caesar.
The games are done, and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell you what hath proceeded worthy note today.
I will do so.
Caesar and Antony enter with others.
Antony!
Caesar.
Let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' nights. Yond Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He's a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter. But I fear him not. Yet, if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He is a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he mocked himself and scorned his spirit. Such men as he be never at heart's ease, whilst they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. Come on my right hand, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
Caesar, Antony, and his train exit, but Casca stays with Brutus and Cassius.
You pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, there was a crown offered him. And being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus. And then the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, merry was it. And he put it by thrice, each time gentler than the other. And at every putting by, mine honest neighbor shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Antony offer him a crown, and as I told you, he put it by once. Then she offered it to him again. Then he put it by again. And then she offered it the third time. He put it the third time by.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
Aye, if I be alive, and your mind whole, and your dinner worth eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
Casca exits.
For this time I will leave you. Tonight come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world.
Brutus exits.
Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. For whoso ferment cannot be seduced.
Act 1, Scene 3. The same, a street. Thunder and lightning. Casca returns with his weapon drawn.
Who's there?
A Roman.
Casca, by your voice.
Your ear is good. Cassius, what night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens menace so?
Those that have known the earth so full of faults.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of men to fear and tremble when the most mighty gods by token send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
You are dull, Casca, and look pale and gaze to see the strange impatience of the heavens. But if you would consider the true cause, why all these fires? Why all these gliding ghosts? Why birds and beasts of quality and kind? Why old men, fools, and children calculate to monstrous quality? Why you shall find that heaven hath infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning unto some monstrous state. Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night, that thunders, lightens, opens graves, and roars as doth a lion in the Capitol, a man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king. Poor man! I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. What trash is Rome? What rubbish when it serves for the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar? But, oh, grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman, but I am armed, and dangers are to me indifferent.
You speak to Casca. Hold my hand. Be fascious for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. I have moved already some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence, most bloody, fiery, and most terrible.
Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
'Tis Cinna. I do know her by her gait, and with her comes Ligarius. They are friends.
Enter Cinna and Ligarius.
Why haste you so?
To find out you. Who's that?
It is Casca. A friend.
I am glad, Aunt. What a fearful night it is. There's 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights.
More lightning and thunder.
Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party.
Be you content. Good sinner, take this paper and look you lay it in the praetor's chair, where Brutus may but find it. All this done, repair to Pompey's porch, where you shall find us.
I will bestow these papers as you bade me.
Cinna and Ligarius exit.
Come, Casca. You and I will yet ere day see Brutus at her house. 3 parts of her is ours already, and the woman entire upon the next encounter yields her ours.
Oh, she sits high in all the people's hearts. And that which would appear offense in us, her countenance, like richest alchemy, would change to virtue and to worthiness.
Her and her worth and our great need of her you have right well conceded. Let us go.
Casca exits.
For it is after midnight, and ere day we will awake her and be sure of her.
Cassius exits. More lightning and thunder. Act 2, Scene 1, Rome. Brutus home. Enter Brutus and Lucius.
What Lucius, ho!
Called you, my lady?
Get me a taper in my study, Lucius. When it is lighted, come and call me here.
I will, my lady.
Lucius exits.
It must be by his death. For my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him, and to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affections swayed more than his reason. But he would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. Crown him that, and then I grant we put a sting in him. And 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder. And when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may. Then lest he may, prevent. Think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would, as his kind, grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
Lucius re-enters with a letter.
The taper burneth in your closet, my lady. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper, thus sealed up, and I am sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Lucius gives her the letter.
Get you to bed again, it is not day. Is not tomorrow, boy, the Ides of March?
I know not, my lady.
Look in the calendar and bring me word.
I will.
Lucius exits. Brutus opens the letter and reads.
Brutus, thou sleepst, awake, and see thyself. Speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepst, awake. Such instigations have been often dropped where I have took them up. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise, if the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Lucius re-enters.
Lady, March has wasted 14 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate, somebody knocks.
Exit Lucius.
Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are then in council, and the state of man, like to a little kingdom, suffers then the nature of an insurrection.
Lucius re-enters.
Lady, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door, who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, lady, there are more with him.
Do you know them?
No, lady, their hats are plucked around their ears, and half their faces buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them, by any mark of favor.
Let him enter.
Exit Lucius.
They are the faction. Oh, conspiracy! Shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night when evils are most free?
Enter the conspirators Cassius, Casca, Cinna, and Ligarius.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I've been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every man of them, and no man here but honors you. And everyone doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself which every noble Roman bears of you. This Casca, this Cinna, and this Ligarius.
They are all welcome. Give me your hands all over one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse, if these be motives weak, break off betimes, and everyone hence to his idle bed. So let high-sided tyranny range on, till each man drop by lottery. But if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards and to steal with valor the melting spirits of all men, then, countrymen, what need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? What other bond? Swear priests and cowards and suffering souls. Unto bad causes swear. But do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise to think that our cause or our performance did need an oath.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Ligarius, well urged. I think it is not meet that Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. Let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut the head off and then hack the limbs. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of men there is no blood. Let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. This shall make our purpose necessary and not envious. And for dear Antony, think not of her, for she can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear her, for in the engrafted love she bears to Caesar.
Alas, good Cassius, do not think of her.
There is no fear in her. Let her not die, for she will live and laugh at this hereafter.
Peace, count the clock.
The clock hath stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no. For he is superstitious grown of late. The unaccustomed terror of this night may hold him from the capital today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him. Let me work. I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour, is that the uttermost?
Be that the uttermost, and fail not then.
The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus. And friends, disperse yourselves, but all remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
Hide in smiles and affability. Good morrow.
They all exit, except Brutus. Portia enters with a wounded leg, limping.
Brutus, my love.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw-cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. You ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed, and yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further. Then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my love, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were she not in health, she would embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do, good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What, is Brutus sick, and will she steal out of her wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto her sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of, and upon my knees I charm you by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what men tonight have to resort to you. For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it expected I should know no secrets that appertain to you? If it be no more, Portia's Brutus' escort, not her husband.
You are my true and honorable husband, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then I should know this secret. Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them.
They kiss and embrace.
O ye gods, render me worthy of this noble man. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. Leave me with haste.
Exit Portia.
The time is now to play a piece of work that will make sick men whole.
Act 2, Scene 2. Caesar's house. Thunder and lightning. Enter Caesar in his nightgown.
Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help ho! They murder Caesar."
Enter Lepidus.
Who's within?
My lord.
Ah, Lepidus. Go bid the priests do present sacrifice, and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lord.
Lepidus exits as Calpurnia, in the late stages of pregnancy, enters.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of this house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me ne'er looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons in right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air, horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar! These things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth, for these predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come.
Re-enter Lepidus.
What say the priests?
They would not have you to stir forth today.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house and not your own. We'll send Antony to the Senate house, and she shall say that you are not well today. Let me, upon my knee, prevail in this.
They kiss and embrace.
Then Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home.
Enter Ligarius.
Here's Ligarius. He shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail! Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you for the Senate house.
And you are come in very happy time. Tell them that I will not come today.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathed, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have. When you have heard what I can say, and know it now, the Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid?
Give me my robe, for I will go.
Calpurnia rebuffs Caesar and exits in anger. Enter Lepidus, Brutus, Casca, Cassius, and Cinna.
And look where Brutus is come to fetch me. What, Brutus, are you stirred so early too? Good morrow, Casca! Cassius. Cinna! What is the time?
Caesar, 'tis struck 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy.
Enter Antony.
See? Antony, that revels long at nights, is notwithstanding up. Good morrow, Antony.
So to most noble Caesar.
Bid them prepare within. I have an hour's talk in store for you. Remember that you call on me today.
Caesar, I will. And so near will I be that your best friend shall wish I had been further.
Caesar embraces Brutus.
Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me. And we, like friends, will straightway go together.
Everyone exits, except Brutus.
Here every friend is not the same. Oh, Caesar, the heart of Brutus grieves to think.
Brutus exits. Act 2, Scene 3. A street near the Capitol. Enter Cinna the poet reading a paper. Upstage, people are searched for weapons as they enter the Senate.
Caesar, beware of Brutus. Take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca. Have an eye to Cinna. Ligarius loves thee not. There is but one mind in all these men, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou be'st not immortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. Here will I stand till Caesar pass along, and as a suitor will I give him this. My heart laments that virtue cannot live out of the teeth of emulation. If thou read this, O Caesar, thou mayest live. If not, the fates with traitors do contrive.
Cinna the poet hides upstage. Act 3, Scene 1, Rome, before the Capitol. Enter Caesar, Brutus, Cassius, Casca, Cinna, Antony, and Lepidus.
The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone. Hail, Caesar, read this schedule.
Caesar is escorted away from Cinna the poet, who is restrained.
What touches us ourself shall be last served.
Delay not, Caesar. Read it instantly.
Cinna the poet breaks away, but is quickly thrown to the ground.
What, is the woman mad?
Sire, give place.
What urge you your petitions in the street?
I see your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise?
Fare you well.
Cinna the poet exits.
What said the poet Cinna?
I fear our purpose is discovered. Casca, be sent for we fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius, be constant. The poet Cinna speaks not of these purposes.
Ligarius knows his time, for look you, Brutus, he draws Antony out of the way.
Ligarius and Antony exit.
Casca, you are the first that rears your hand.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Casca throws before thy seat a humble heart.
Casca kneels.
I must prevent thee, Casca. These crouchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men and turn preordinance and first decree into the law of children. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be thawed from the true quality with that which melteth fools. I mean, sweet words, low, crooked curtsies, and base spaniel fawning. I could be well moved, if I were as you. Yet, in the number, I do know but one, that unassailable holds on his rank, unshaked of motion, and that I am he.
O Caesar.
Cinna kneels.
Hence, wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Ligarius kneels, followed by Cassius. Finally, Brutus kneels as well.
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak, hands, for me!
Casca stabs Caesar in the back. Ligarius and Cassius join in stabbing Caesar. Cinna joins in as well. They all stab him over and over. Caesar momentarily breaks away, bloody. Lastly, Brutus stabs him as well.
Et tu, Brute?
Brutus stabs him one last time.
Then fall, Caesar.
Julius Caesar dies.
Liberty! Freedom! Tyranny is dead! Run hence! Proclaim, cry it about the streets!
Some to the common pulpits and cry out liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement!
Fly not, stand still. Ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpits, Brutus.
Where's Lepidus?
Here, quite confounded with this mutiny.
Lepidus? Good cheer. There is no harm intended to your person, nor to no Roman else. So tell them, Lepidus.
And leave us, Lepidus.
Do so, and let no man abide this deed but we the doers.
Lepidus exits.
Where is Antony?
Fled to her house amazed. Men, wives, and children stare, cry out and run as if it were doomsday.
Stoop, Romans. Stoop and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood, up to the elbows, and besmear our swords. Then we walk forth even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons o'er our heads, let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty.
Brutus shall lead, and we will grace her heels with the most boldest and best hearts of Rome.
Lepidus re-enters and kneels.
Soft, who comes here? Lepidus?
Thus, Brutus, did Antony bid me kneel. Thus she bade me say, Brutus is noble, wise, and gallant and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say, I love Brutus and honor her. Say, I feared Caesar, honored him, and loved him. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may safely come to her and be resolved of how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death, may Antony shall not love Caesar dead as well as Brutus living, but will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus. So says the Lady Antony.
Thy master is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought her worse. Tell her, so please her come unto this place, she shall be satisfied, and by my honor depart untouched.
I'll fetch her presently.
Lepidus exits.
I know that we shall have her well to friend.
I wish we may, but yet have I a mind that fears her much, and my misgivings still fall shrewdly to the purpose.
But here comes Antony.
Antony runs on stage and kneels by Caesar's body.
Welcome, noble Antony.
Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, noblemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now whilst your purpled hands do reek in smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years. I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no mean of death as here by Caesar.
Antony, beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel, as by our hands and this our present act, our hearts you see not. They are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. Our arms in strength of malice, and our hearts of soldiers' temper, do receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as anyone's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude beside themselves with fear, and then we will deliver to you the cause, why I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt naught of your wisdom. Let each one render me their bloody hand. First, Master Brutus, will I shake with you. Next, Caius Cassius, do I take your hand. Yours, Cinna, and my valiant Casca yours. Though last, not last in love, yours, good Ligarius. Noblemen all. Alas, what shall I say? That I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death, to see thy Antony making her peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes, most noble in the presence of thy corpse?
Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so. But what compact mean you to have with us?
I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends, I am with you all and love you all, upon this hope that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the child of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And moreover, may I produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak and the order of his funeral.
You shall, noble Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak in his funeral.
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first, and show the reason of our Caesar's death. What Antony shall speak, she speaks by permission. It shall advantage more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Master Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You shall not, in your funeral speech, blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body, then, and follow us.
Exit all but Antony.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men, and Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, shall in these confines, with a monarch's voice, cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war. That this foul deed shall smell above the earth, with carrion men groaning for burial.
Lepidus re-enters.
You know Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Master Antony.
Caesar did right for her to come to Rome.
She did receive his letters, and is coming. Oh, Caesar.
Thy heart is big. Get thee apart and weep. Passion I see is catching, for mine eyes, seeing those beads of sorrow stand in thine, begin to water. Is Octavius coming?
She lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed and tell her what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome, no Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence and tell her so. Yet, stay a while. Lend me your hand.
As Antony and Lepidus place Caesar's body on a raised platform, the clanging of weapons and angry chants of the Roman citizens can be heard. Act 3, Scene 2, the Forum. Enter Brutus and the conspirators. Brutus takes the pulpit.
Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus' love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves than that Caesar were dead to live all freemen? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus.
Antony enters and covers Caesar's body with a shroud.
Here comes his body, mourned by Master Antony, who, though she had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself when it shall please my country to need my death. Good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake, stay here with Antony.
Brutus and all the conspirators exit.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault. I come to speak and Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable woman. Caesar had brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff, yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable woman. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented Caesar a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, she is an honorable woman. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, who, you all know, are honorable. But if you have tears, prepare to shed them now.
Antony removes the shroud, showing Caesar's bloody body.
Look, in this place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Cinna made. Through this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it. Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved her. This was the most unkindest cut of all, for when the noble Caesar saw her stab, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him, then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall it was there, my countrymen! Then I, and you, and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not, that made them do it. They are wise and honorable and will, no doubt, with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is. But as you know me all, a plain, blunt human, for I have neither wit, no words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know, show you sweet Caesar's wounds, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there where an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny.
The citizens rally, chanting Caesar, and exit, seeking mutiny.
Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt.
Enter Lepidus.
How now, fellow?
Octavius is all ready to come to Rome.
Where is she?
She is at Caesar's house.
And thither will I straight to visit her. She comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything.
I heard her say Brutus and Cassius are like madmen through the gates of Rome.
Feel like they made some notice of the people. How I have moved them. Bring me to Octavius.
Antony and Lepidus exit. Octavius Caesar, hooded, runs to Caesar's body in mourning. Act 4, Scene 1. Enter Cinna the poet.
I dreamt tonight that I did feast with Caesar, and things unlucky charge my fantasy. I have no will to wander forth of doors, yet something leads me forth.
Noticing Cinna the poet, Octavius puts up her hood and brandishes her weapon.
What is your name? Whither are you going? Where do you dwell? Answer me directly, briefly, wisely, and truly you were best.
What is my name? Whither am I going? Where do I dwell? Then to answer every man directly and briefly, wisely and truly. Wisely, I say I am a poet.
Proceed directly.
Directly, I am going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or an enemy?
As a friend.
That matter is answered directly. For your dwelling, briefly.
Briefly, I dwell by the Capitol.
Your name, girl. Truly.
Truly, my name is Cinna.
Cinna. I'll tear you to pieces!
I am Cinna the poet! I am Cinna the poet!
You're a conspirator!
I am not Cinna the conspirator!
It is no matter. Your name's Cinna. I will pluck your name out of your heart.
Octavius attacks. A brutal fight ensues. Cinna the poet tries to defend herself and get away, but Octavius is relentless, vengeful. Finally, Octavius slowly chokes Cinna the poet to death. Octavius takes the pulpit.
Come, brands, ho! To Brutus, to Cassius, burn all! Some to Cascus, some to Ligarius. Away, go, burn all!
Octavius goes back to the body of Caesar, weeping. Antony re-enters. Antony holds Octavius as she cries.
And now, Octavius, listen, great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight make head. Therefore let our alliance be combined, our best friends made, our means stretched, and let us presently go sit in council, how covert matters may be best disclosed, and open perils surest answered.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake, and bayed about with many enemies. And some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
They replace the shroud on Caesar, then they both exit. The lights shift and the stage darkens. Antony's curse is heard once again.
Over thy wounds now do I prophesy. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men, and Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, shall in these confines, with a monarch's voice, cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war.
The ghost of Caesar rises from the shroud to haunt the conspirators. Act 4, Scene 2. Camp near Sardis, before Brutus's tent. Enter Brutus and Lucius.
What now, Lucius? Is Cassius near?
He is at hand.
A word, Lucius. How he received you. Let me be resolved.
With courtesy and with respect enough, but not with such familiar instances, nor with such free and friendly conference as he hath used of old.
Thou hast described a hot friend cooling. Ever note, Lucius, when love begins to sicken and decay, it useth an enforced ceremony.
Enter Cassius.
Hark, he's arrived. Away, Lucius.
Lucius exits.
Most noble Brutus, you have done me wrong. Know you how much the people have been moved by that which Antony did utter?
Remember March, the Ides of March, remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched his body that did stab, and not for justice? I had rather be a dog and bay the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bay not me. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself. I am a soldier, I, older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
Go to. You are not, Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more, I shall forget myself. Have mind upon your health. Tempt me no farther.
Away, slight man.
Is just possible?
Shall I be frighted when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this. I more. Fret till your proud heart break. You say you are a better soldier, let it appear so.
You wrong me every way. You wrong me, Brutus. I sent an elder soldier, not a better. When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved me.
Peace, you durst not so have tempted him.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats, for I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind.
A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not, till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such faults.
A flatterer's would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony, and young Octavius, come. Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius. For Cassius is aweary of the world, hated by one he loves, braved by his Brutus. There is my weapon. If that thou beest a Roman, take it forth. Strike, as thou didst at Caesar. For I know when thou didst hate him worse, thou lovest him better than ever thou lovest Cassius.
Sheathe your weapon. When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Cassius, I am sick of many griefs. No one bears sorrow better.
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
And my heart, too. Come in.
Enter Ligarius with Cinna and Casca.
Ligarius, welcome, good Cinna.
I have here received the letters that young Octavius and Master Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition towards Philippi.
Myself have letters of self-same tenor.
With what addition?
That by prescription and bills of outlawry, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus had put to death 100 senators.
Brutus, what have you?
Had you your letters from your husband?
No, Cinna.
Nor nothing in your letters rid of him?
Nothing, Cinna.
That, methinks, is strange.
Why ask you? Hear you aught of him in yours?
No, my lord.
Now, as you are a Roman, tell me true.
Then, like a Roman, bear the truth I tell. For certain he is dead.
Ha! Portia?
Portia's silhouette is seen.
Impatient of your absence and grief that young Octavius with Master Antony had made themselves too strong, he fell distract and swallowed fire.
Portia's silhouette disappears.
Portia, art thou gone?
Brutus collapses and weeps. Cassius goes to comfort her, but she quickly rises.
No more, I pray you. What do you think of marching on Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reasons must of force give place to better. The people twixt Philippi have grudged us contribution, from which advantage shall we cut him off?
Hear me, good sister.
Our legions are brimful. Our cause is ripe. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken on the flood leads on to fortune.
Then, with your will, go on.
The deep of night is crept upon our talk, and nature must obey necessity. There is no more to say.
No more. Good night.
Good night, Master Brutus.
Good night, Master Brutus.
Good night, and good repose.
Cinna, Ligarius, and Casca exit.
Oh, my dear Brutus, this was an ill beginning of the night. Never comes such division between our souls.
Cassius and Brutus embrace.
Good night, good brother.
Cassius exits. Re-enter Lucius.
Where is thy instrument?
Here.
Canst thou hold up thy heavy eyes a while and touch thy instrument a strain or two?
Aye, my lady, an't please you. It is my duty. I have slept, my lady, already.
It was well done, and thou shalt sleep again. This is a sleepy tune. Oh, murderous slumber.
The ghost of Caesar appears, approaching Brutus.
How ill this taper burns. Ha! Who comes here? I think it is the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. It comes upon me. Art thou anything? Art thou some god, some angel, or some devil that makes my blood cold and my hair to stare? Speak to me what thou art.
Thy evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Well, then I shall see thee again.
Aye, at the battle of Philippi.
Caesar disappears.
Lucius?
My lady?
Didst thou dream, Lucius?
My lady, no.
Didst thou see anything?
Nothing, my lady.
Anything?
No, my lady, I saw nothing.
Bid Cassius set on his powers betimes before, and we will follow.
It shall be done, my lady.
Both Lucius and Brutus exit. Act 5, Scene 1. The plains of Philippi. Enter Octavius, Antony, and their army.
Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here, answering before we do demand of them.
Enter Lepidus.
Prepare you, generals. The enemy comes on in gallant show.
Octavius, lead your battle softly on upon the left hand of the even field.
I will do so. Shall we give sign of battle?
No, Octavius. We will answer on their charge. Make forth. The generals would have some words.
Stir not until the signal.
Brutus and Cassius enter. Antony and Octavius approach.
Words before blows. Is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
Villains, you did not so when your vile weapons hacked one another in the sides of Caesar, crying, "Long live! Hail Caesar!" You showed your teeth like apes and fawned like hounds, whilst damned Casca like a cur behind struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers.
Flatterers?
Come, come. The cause. If arguing make us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword goes up again? Never. Till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitors. I was not born to die on Brutus' sword.
If thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young lady, thou couldst not die more honorable.
A peevish schoolgirl worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Hold Cassius still.
Come, Antony, away. Defiance, traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
Exit Octavius, Antony, and their army.
This is my birthday. As this very day was Cassius born. This shadow seems to be a canopy most fatal. under which our army lies ready to give up the ghost. I am fresh of spirit and resolved to meet all perils very constantly. Now, most noble Brutus, if we do lose this battle, then is this the very last time we shall speak together?
This same day must end that work the Ides of March begun, and whether we shall meet again, I know not. If we do meet again, why, we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made. Farewell, Cassius.
Forever and forever. Farewell, Brutus.
They shake hands. Cassius exits.
That a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known.
Battle cries are heard. A massive fight takes place as the two armies clash. Suddenly, Caesar appears again. Time slows for all the fighters except Caesar and Brutus. Caesar arms himself and approaches Brutus. They fight, but in the end, Caesar triumphs, Brutus at his mercy.
Cowards die many times before their death. The valiant never taste of death but once.
Caesar disappears. Brutus exits. Act 5, Scene 3. Another part of the battlefield. Enter Cassius and Ligarius.
Oh, look, Ligarius, look, the villains fly!
Oh, Cassius, Brutus gave the word too early, who, having some advantage on Octavius, took it too eagerly. Her soldiers fell to spoil, whilst by Antony are all enclosed.
Enter Casca.
Fly further off, my lord, fly further off. Master Antony is in your tents, my lord. Fly therefore, noble Cassius, fly far off.
This hill is far enough. Look, Ligarius. Are those my tents where I perceive the fire?
They are, my lord.
Ligarius, if thou lovest me, go thee up to yonder troops and hear again, that I may rest assured whether yon troops are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with a thought.
Ligarius exits.
Go, Casca, get higher on that hill and tell me what thou knowest about the field.
Casca ascends the hill.
This day I breathe first. Time has come round, and where I did begin, there shall I end. My life has run its compass. Casca, what news?
Oh, my lord!
What news?
Ligarius is enclosed round with horsemen that make to him on the spur, yet he spurs on. Now they are almost on him. He's taken!
Come down. Behold no more. Oh, coward that I am, to live so long, to see my own friends taken before my face. Come hither, Casca, and with this good sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom. Stand not to answer. Here, take thou the hilts, and when my face is covered, as 'tis now, guide thou the sword.
Caesar appears at a distance. Casca stabs Cassius.
Caesar, thou art revenged.
Cassius dies.
Oh, Cassius! Far from this country, Casca shall run, where never Roman shall take note of him.
Casca exits. Ligarius and Cinna enter.
It is but change, Ligarius, for Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus' power, as Cassius' legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Where did you leave him?
With Casca, on this hill.
Is not that he that lies upon the ground?
He lies like not the living.
Is not that he?
No, this was he, Cinna. Oh, my heart. But Cassius is no more. O setting sun, the sun of Rome is set. Our day is gone. Clouds, dews, and dangers come. Our deeds are done. Mistrust of my success has done this deed.
Oh, hateful error. Oh, error soon conceived.
What Casca? Where art thou, Casca?
Seek him, Ligarius, whilst I go to meet the noble Brutus, thrusting this report into her ears.
Hie you, Cinna, and I will seek Casca for the while.
Exit Cinna.
Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? Didst thou not hear their shouts of victory? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything. By your leave, gods, this is a Roman's part. Come, Cassius' sword, and find Ligarius' heart.
As Caesar's ghost approaches him, Ligarius stabs and kills himself. Re-enter Cinna with Brutus and Lucius.
Where, Cinna, doth his body lie?
Lo yonder, and Ligarius mourning it.
Ligarius faces upward.
He is slain.
Only Brutus can see Caesar before he disappears once again.
Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords in our own proper entrails.
Brave Ligarius.
Are yet 2 Romans living such as these? The last of all the Romans, fare thee well. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. Lucius, come, let us to the field. 'Tis 3 o'clock, and Romans yet ere night, we shall try fortune in a second fight.
Brutus, Cinna, and Lucius exit. As Caesar appears again, another frantic battle takes place. Act 5, Scene 4, another part of the field.
Yet, countrymen, oh, yet hold up your heads.
I am Master Brutus. Master Brutus, I.
Brutus and her forces flee off stage, while Cinna, pretending to be Brutus, is taken prisoner by Antony's soldiers.
Yield or thou diest.
Kill Brutus and be honored in her death.
We must not. A noble prisoner.
Here comes the general.
Enter Antony and Octavius.
Brutus is taken, Antony.
Where is she?
Safe, Antony. Brutus is safe enough. I dare assure thee that no enemy shall ever take alive the noble Brutus. The gods defend her from so great a shame.
This is not Brutus, friend. But I assure you, a prize no less in worth. Keep this one safe. Give her all kindness. I had rather have such be friends than enemies.
They all exit, escorting Cinna off stage as a prisoner. Act 5, Scene 5, another part of the field. Brutus and Lucius enter, Lucius supporting the exhausted Brutus.
Sit thee down, Lucius.
Now is your noble vessel full of grief that it runs over even at your eyes?
Come hither, good Lucius. List a word.
What says my lady?
Why this, Lucius? The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me several times by night. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lady.
Nay, I am sure it is. Thou seest the world, Lucius, how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. I prithee, hold thou my sword hilts whilst I run on it.
Caesar appears again.
That's not an office for a friend, my lady.
Farewell to you, Lucius. My heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no man save you was true to me. Night hangs upon mine eyes, my bones would rest. I prithee, Lucius, stay thou by thy master. Hold then my sword, and turn away thy face, while I do run upon it. Wilt thou, Lucius?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my Brutus.
Lucius and Brutus embrace. Caesar moves in close to them. Lucius holds the weapon as Brutus runs upon it.
Farewell, good Lucius. Caesar, now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will.
Brutus dies. Enter Octavius, Antony, and Cinna as Caesar disappears.
What maid is that?
My master's servant. Lucius, where is thy master?
Free from the bondage you're in, Cinna, the conquerors can but make a fire of her. For Brutus only overcame herself, and no one else hath honor by her death.
All that served Brutus, I will entertain them.
How died my Brutus?
I held the sword, and she did run on it.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only she, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. Her life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in her that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a Roman.
According to her virtue, let us use her, with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent her bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier ordered honorably. So call the field to rest, and let's away, to part the glories of this happy day.
Caesar and Octavius, high above all the others, raise their fists in unison. End of play.